Captain Jake Sullivan stood on the bridge of the UEC's Defiance. His hands gripped the metal railing as he stared at the screens. Space around Earth looked normal just minutes ago. Now it was filled with alien ships. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands. "Sir, we're getting a message," said Lieutenant Kate Morrison. Her voice shook a little. Jake could not blame her. None of them had ever seen anything like this before. "Put it through," Jake said. He tried to keep his voice steady. His crew needed to see him stay calm. The main screen flickered. A tall, crystal-like being appeared. Its body was made of what looked like blue glass. Strange lights pulsed inside it. When it spoke, its voice was cold and sharp. "Primitive species." "Of the third planet," the alien said. "I am Ambassador Vex 7 of the Zephyrian Empire. Your kind has been judged. You are not fit to exist in our galaxy." Jake felt his heart pound. Around him, his crew went very quiet. Even the usual hum of the ship's engines seemed too loud. "You have 72 hours to surrender," the alien continued. "All your leaders must come to our ships. Your weapons must be destroyed. Your people will be relocated to work colonies. If you refuse, we will destroy your world completely." The message ended. The screen went back to showing the alien fleet. Jake counted the ships he could see. Each one was bigger than Earth's largest battleship. Their weapons could probably turn whole cities into dust. "Get me Admiral Carter," Jake said. Now. Admiral Lisa Carter was in the command center on Earth's moon base. She had been watching the alien fleet arrive. Her face was grim when she appeared on Jake's screen. "Jake, what's our status?" she asked. "All ships are ready, Admiral, but—" Jake paused. He did not want to say what they both knew. "We don't stand a chance." Lisa nodded. "I know. I'm calling an emergency meeting with all ship commanders. We need to buy time." On Earth, President Marcus Webb was in the underground war. The room was full of generals, scientists, and world leaders. Everyone looked scared. Everyone except Dr. Elena Rodriguez. Dr. Rodriguez was a small woman with gray hair. She worked on secret projects that most people knew nothing about. She had been quiet during the meeting. Now she stood up. "Mr. President," she said, "I need to tell you something. Something that changes everything." General Ryan Torres, the head of Earth's military, looked at her. "Dr. Rodriguez, this is not the time for theories. We need real solutions. This is real," Elena said. "For 50 years, we have been preparing for this day. We found something in space. Something the aliens don't know about." President Webb leaned forward. "What are you talking about?" Elena pressed a button on her tablet. The large screen in the room showed a picture of space. In the picture was a strange ship. It was black and looked like it was made of shadows. 50 years ago, we found this ship floating in the Kuiper Belt," Elena said. "It was dead, empty, but the technology inside was beyond anything we had ever seen." "Whose ship was it?" asked the president. "Not theirs," Elena said, pointing at the ceiling where the alien fleet waited. "Something else, something older. We call them the Void Hunters. They ruled the galaxy long before these Zephyrians existed." General Torres stood up. "You're telling us we have alien technology? Why didn't we know about this?" "Because it was too dangerous," Elena replied. "The technology changes people. It makes them into something else. We could only use it if we had no other choice. And now we have no choice," President Webb said quietly. Elena nodded. "We built a fleet, 30 ships. They're hidden in the asteroid belt. The aliens can't detect them because they exist partly outside normal space." Admiral Carter's voice came through the speakers. "Dr. Rodriguez, are you saying we can fight back?" "More than that," Elena said. "We can win, but the cost will be high." The people who crew these ships will not come back as humans. They will become something new. The room went silent. Everyone understood what she meant. To save humanity, some humans would have to stop being human. Outside, the alien fleet waited. Ambassador Vex 7 was on the flagship, talking to his commander. War Commander Zix 9. The primitives seemed to be preparing some kind of response. Vex 7 sighed. Zix 9 was a massive creature with 4 arms and skin like metal. He laughed. Let them try. We have destroyed 1,000 worlds. These humans are no different. Our sensors detect unusual energy readings from their outer system, Vex 7 reported. Probably. Their pathetic attempts at hiding, Zix 9 said. In 3 days, this world will be ash. The Empire will have another victory. Back on Earth, President Webb made his decision. Dr. Rodriguez, activate your Dark Fleet. Admiral Carter, prepare all conventional forces. We're going to show these aliens what humans can do. Elena nodded. I'll contact Commander Alex Thompson. He's been training for this his whole life. As the meeting ended, Jake Sullivan looked out at the alien fleet. They thought humans were weak. They thought Earth would surrender without a fight. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The countdown began. 72 hours to surrender, or fight back with technology that could save or damn them all. Jake smiled grimly. The aliens had no idea what was coming. In the asteroid belt, 30 black ships began to wake up. Their crews were ready. The Dark Fleet was about to rise, and the galaxy would never be the same. Commander Alex Thompson floated in zero gravity as he moved through the asteroid base. The base was carved inside a huge rock, hidden from any scanning. He had lived here for 10 years, preparing for this moment. All ships report ready, Commander, said his aide, Lieutenant Ben Parker. Ben was nervous. Everyone was nervous. They all knew what using the Dark Fleet meant. Alex nodded. How many crew members do we have? 300 total, all volunteers, all know the risks. The risks were real. The Void Hunter technology changed. People, it made them faster, stronger, smarter. But it also made them less human. The first test pilots had come back different. They could see things others could not. They could feel the emptiness between stars. Some said they could hear whispers from long-dead civilizations. Sir, we're getting the activation signal from Earth, Ben said. Alex looked at the main screen. It showed all 30 ships of the Dark Fleet. Each ship was about the size of a regular destroyer, but they looked nothing like human ships. They were smooth, black, and seemed to bend light around them. Send the message to all ships, Alex said. Begin crew boarding. We launch in 6 hours. On Earth, Lieutenant Kate Morrison was deep underground in Colorado. The mountain above her had been turned into a command center. She coordinated with secret groups all over the world. London base, what's your status? She asked into her headset. All civilians evacuated to underground shelters, came the reply. Surface activity shows normal patterns. Kate smiled. That was the plan. Make the aliens think everything was normal while moving people to safety. The Zephyrians would see cities full of people. They would not know these people were actually holograms and robots. Tokyo base, report. Same here. All real people are safe underground. The aliens see what we want them to see. Kate had been working on this deception for weeks. Every major city had been secretly emptied. The underground shelters could hold millions of people. They had food, water, and air for months. On the alien flagship, Ambassador Vex 7 watched the human world. The primitives continue their daily routines. He told War Commander Zix 9. They do not seem to understand the situation. Zix 9 studied the reports. Our sensors still detect strange energy from their outer system. Should we investigate? Why? Waste time? These humans have simple rockets and nuclear weapons. Nothing that can hurt us. But Zix-9 was not completely sure. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered many worlds. Usually, species either surrendered quickly or fought with everything they had. Humans were acting too calm. Send a scout ship to check. The outer system, Zix-9 ordered. The scout ship flew toward the asteroid belt. Its sensors were the best in the galaxy. It could detect a single ship from millions of miles away. But when it scanned the area where the energy readings came from, it found nothing. The Dark Fleet ships were there, but they existed partly outside normal space. The Zephyrian sensors could not see them. Dr. Elena Rodriguez was in her laboratory, making final preparations. She looked at the data from the original alien ship they had found. The ship belonged to the Void Hunters, a race that had ruled the galaxy millions of years ago. The Zephyrians are not the first galactic empire, she told her assistant, Dr. Mark Sean. They are just the latest. The Void Hunters came before them. What happened to the Void Hunters? Mark asked. We don't know. They vanished. But they left their technology behind. Technology that can control space and time itself. Elena showed Mark a recording from the first test of Void Hunter technology. A human pilot had made his ship disappear and reappear instantly across the solar system. But when he came back, his eyes were different. They were black, like looking into deep space. The technology changes the user, Elena explained. It connects them to something vast and ancient. We think the Void Hunters became something beyond physical existence. And our people will become the same? Maybe. Or maybe they'll become something new, something that is both human and Void Hunter. Commander Thompson was now on board the flagship of the Dark Fleet, the UES Nemesis. The ship felt alive around him. The walls seemed to pulse with energy. When he touched the controls, he could feel the ship's thoughts. This is strange, said Captain Sam Lee, commander of the UES Revenant. I can sense the other ships. It's like they're part of me. Alex nodded. The technology connects us all. We're not just 30 separate ships anymore. We're one fleet, one mind. The change was already starting. The crew members looked the same, but their eyes were becoming darker. They moved with inhuman grace. They could react to danger before it happened. All ships, this is Commander Thompson, Alex said into the communication system. In 2 hours, we will show ourselves to the enemy. Remember, we are not just fighting for Earth. We are fighting for the future of humanity. On Earth, President, Webb received updates from around the world. The evacuation was complete. The deception was working. The aliens thought they were watching a normal, defenseless world. Dr. Rodriguez, are you sure about this? He asked. Once we use this technology, there's no going back. Elena looked at him seriously. Mr. President, the Zephyrians have destroyed thousands of worlds. They will not show mercy. Our only choice is to become something they cannot defeat. Admiral Carter was coordinating with the regular Earth fleet. All conventional ships prepare for combat. We'll attack first to draw their attention. Then the Dark Fleet will strike. Captain Jake Sullivan, still on the UES Defiance, looked at his crew. They were brave, but they knew their regular ships could not win against the aliens. They would buy time for the Dark Fleet to work. Sir, said Lieutenant Morrison, the aliens are moving. They're positioning for attack. Jake nodded. All ships prepare for battle. Today, we show the galaxy what humans can do. The countdown continued. In 1 hour, the Dark Fleet would reveal itself. The Zephyrian Empire would face an enemy they had never seen before. An enemy that used the technology of their ancient masters. War Commander Zix-9 prepared his fleet for the destruction of Earth. He did not know that 30 ships filled with changed humans were waiting in the shadows. He did not know that the primitives had found something that could challenge the mightiest empire in the galaxy, that the battle for Earth was about to begin. The moment came exactly 72 hours after the alien ultimatum. War Commander Zix-9 gave the order to attack Earth. Thousands of alien ships moved forward, their weapons charging with deadly energy. Captain Jake Sullivan watched from the yacht. Bridge of the U East Defiance. All Earth ships, attack formation. Let's show them what we're made of. The human fleet charged toward the aliens. Earth ships were tiny compared to the massive Zephyrian vessels, but they moved with desperate courage. Jake knew they could not win, but they would not surrender. The first exchange of fire lit up space. Human missiles exploded harmlessly against alien shields. Zephyrian energy beams cut through Earth ships like paper. In minutes, half the human fleet was destroyed. "Sir, we're taking heavy damage," reported Lieutenant Kate Morrison from her station. Jake gripped his chair. "Keep fighting. We just need to hold them a little longer." War Commander Zix-9 watched the battle with satisfaction. These primitives fight bravely, but uselessly. Continue the attack. Soon we will begin bombing their planet. That was when space began to tear apart. Behind the alien fleet, reality seemed to split open. Black holes appeared from nowhere. From these holes came ships that looked like living shadows. A dark fleet had arrived. Commander Alex Thompson stood on the bridge of the U.E.'s Nemesis. His eyes were now completely black, like staring into the void between stars. Around him, his crew moved with inhuman precision. "All ships, begin the attack," Alex said. His voice was calm, but it carried power that made the air vibrate. The dark fleet ships moved through space in ways that seemed impossible. They did not fly around the alien vessels. They flew through them. The Zephyrian shields, which had stopped every human weapon, could not stop ships that existed partly outside normal reality. Captain Sam Lee, commanding the UES Revenant, phased his ship directly through a massive alien battleship. As he passed through, he fired weapons that unmade matter at the atomic level. The alien ship simply ceased to exist. "Impossible," whispered Ambassador Vex 7. "Our shields are stopping their weapons." "Not stopping," said War Commander Zix-9. His voice filled with growing fear. "The weapons are bypassing our shields completely. How is this possible?" On the U.E.'s Nemesis, Alex felt the power of the Void Hunter technology flow through him. He could sense every alien ship, every weapon, every thought of fear spreading through the enemy fleet. "Target their command ships," he ordered, "and this quickly." The dark fleet moved like a pack of hunting wolves. They appeared behind alien ships, fired their reality-bending weapons, and disappeared again. Zephyrian commanders tried to target them, but the human ships were never where the sensors said they were. Lieutenant Ben Parker, now serving as Alex's second-in-command, watched the battle with changed eyes. "Sir, we're getting reports from all ships. No damage taken. Enemy losses at 60% and climbing." In 10 minutes, the invincible Zephyrian fleet was reduced to burning wreckage. Ships that had conquered worlds were now floating debris. The aliens who had demanded Earth's surrender were dying in the cold of space. War Commander Zix-9 was trapped in his damaged flagship. Emergency lights flickered around him. His crew was dead or dying. Through the smoke, he saw a human ship approaching. The UES Nemesis phased through the alien ship's hull. Commander Thompson materialized on the bridge, his feet not quite touching the floor. He looked at the wounded alien commander. "You wanted our surrender," Alex said. His voice echoed strangely. "Instead, you found something you were not prepared for." Zix-9 looked at the human with fear and confusion. "You are not the primitives we scanned. What are you?" "We are what your people created," Alex replied. "We are the result of your threat to destroy our world. We are humanity evolved." "That technology?" Zix-9 gasped. "It belongs to the Void Hunters. They were our masters long ago. We thought they were gone forever." Alex nodded. "They gave us the tools to defend ourselves. Now we will use those tools to protect our world." "You do not understand," Zix-9 said, coughing up strange alien blood. "The Void Hunters did not disappear. They became something else, something that exists in the spaces between reality. If you use their technology, you will become like them." "Maybe," Alex said, "but we will still be human where it matters." The alien commander used his last strength to send a message to his home world. "The Void Hunters have returned. The primitives have their technology. Warn the Empire. Warn everyone." The message was sent across the galaxy at faster than light speed. On the Zephyrian homeworld, Emperor Calvex received the warning. He was ancient, even by alien standards. He remembered the old stories about the Void Hunters. "Impossible," he said. "The Void Hunters transcended physical existence millions of years ago. They cannot have returned, but the evidence was clear. An entire invasion fleet had been destroyed by 30 ships using Void Hunter technology. The Empire's greatest military force had been wiped out in minutes. On Earth, Admiral Carter watched the last alien ship explode. "All human ships, stand down. The battle is over." Captain Jake Sullivan could not believe what he had seen. "Admiral, how is this possible? 30 ships destroyed thousands of alien vessels?" "The Dark Fleet is not using normal technology," Lisa replied. "They're using something far more advanced. Something that changes the rules of physics itself." Dr. Elena Rodriguez was in the command center, monitoring the Dark Fleet. She was worried. The crews of the 30 ships were changing faster than expected. They were becoming something new, something that was no longer fully human. "Dr. Rodriguez," came Alex's voice through the communication system, "we need to talk. The technology is showing us things. Things about the galaxy." "About what's coming?" Elena felt a chill. "What kind of things?" "The Zephyrians are not the real threat," Alex said. "They're just the latest empire to rise and fall. Something much older is stirring. Something that makes their entire civilization look like children playing with toys." President Webb joined the conversation. "Commander Thompson, are you saying there are more threats out there?" "I'm saying the galaxy is full of dangers we never imagined," Alex replied. "The Void Hunters left their technology for a reason. They knew something was coming. Something that would require defenders who could exist between realities. The battle for Earth was over, but the war for humanity's future was just beginning. The Dark Fleet had saved the world, but at a cost. The crews were becoming something new, something that might not be human at all. In the depths of space, other ancient powers felt the use of Void Hunter technology. They began to stir from their long sleep. The galaxy was about to become a much more dangerous place. Earth was safe for now, but the real test was yet to come. Emperor Calvex stood in the great throne room of the Zephyrian homeworld. He was old, older than most civilizations. His metallic skin was covered in scars from 1,000 battles. For the first time in centuries, he felt fear. "Bring me the high command," he ordered. "All of them. Now." Within hours, the greatest military minds of the Zephyrian Empire gathered before their emperor. Generals, admirals, and war masters from across the galaxy stood in the vast hall. "The humans have Void Hunter technology," Calvex said. His voice echoed through the chamber. "They destroyed our entire invasion fleet. This cannot be allowed to continue." General Crix IV, the Empire's top military strategist, stepped forward. "My Emperor, surely 30 primitive ships cannot threaten our entire empire." We have millions of vessels across thousands of worlds. Fool, Caldex snarled. The Void Hunters once ruled this galaxy. Their technology can bend reality itself. If the humans master it fully, they will become unstoppable. The Emperor activated a holographic display. It showed the battle at Earth, recorded by the dying sensors of the invasion fleet. The assembled commanders watched in horror as human ships phased through their weapons and shields. See how they move, Caldex pointed. They exist partially outside normal space. Our weapons cannot touch them. Our shields cannot stop them. This is why the Void Hunters were never defeated in battle. Admiral Vex Prime, commander of the Empire's largest fleet, spoke up. Then how do we fight them? We use everything, the Emperor replied. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier. We crush them before they can spread their technology to other worlds. On Earth, Dr. Elena Rodriguez was studying the Dark Fleet cruise. The changes were accelerating. Commander Alex Thompson had been in space for only 3 days, but he was already becoming something barely human. Alex, I need you to come back to Earth, she said through the communication link. The medical team needs to examine you. Alex's image appeared on the screen. His skin was paler than before, and his black eyes seemed to contain swirling galaxies. I cannot return, Dr. Rodriguez. The planet feels too solid, too real. I exist partially in the void now. What does that mean? It means I can see things. Others cannot. I can feel the movement of fleets across the galaxy. The Zephyrians are gathering everything they have. They're coming back, and this time they're bringing their full military might. Elena felt her heart sink. How many ships? Millions. Led by Emperor Caldex himself. They will arrive in 2 weeks. President Webb was in an emergency meeting with world leaders. The victory over the first alien fleet had been celebrated. But now they faced a much larger threat. We need to evacuate Earth, said General Ryan Torres. Move the population to the underground cities and space stations. If millions of alien ships attack, even the Dark Fleet might not be enough. No, said Admiral Carter. We run now, we'll be running forever. The Dark Fleet is our only advantage. We need to use it. Dr. Rodriguez entered the meeting room. I have news from Commander Thompson. The Zephyrian Empire is sending everything. They have, but there's something else. The Void Hunter technology is changing our people faster than we expected. What kind of changes? Asked President Webb. They're becoming something new. Part human, part something else. They can exist in normal space and in the void between realities. But we're losing them. They're becoming less human every day. Captain, Jake Sullivan was coordinating Earth's defense preparations. His conventional fleet was being rebuilt, but they all knew regular ships would be useless against millions of alien vessels. Kate, what's the status on the evacuation? He asked Lieutenant Morrison. All major cities are empty. The people are in the underground shelters. But sir, if the aliens decide to crack the planet itself, then we make sure they don't get the chance. Jake replied. In the asteroid belt, the Dark Fleet was preparing for the coming battle. Commander Thompson called a meeting of all ship commanders. They gathered in the void between ships, their changed forms floating in space without protection. The enemy is coming in force, Alex told them. We are 30 ships against millions, but we have advantages they cannot imagine. Captain Sam Lee spoke up. Sir, I can feel something else out there, something ancient and powerful. It's not the Zephyrians, Alex nodded. The Void Hunters. They left their technology for a reason. They knew this day would come. They knew someone would need to defend reality itself. Defend it from what? Asked another commander. From those who would break it, Alex replied. The Zephyrians are not the real enemy. They're just the latest threat. Something far worse is stirring in the deep void. Lieutenant Ben Parker had changed the most of all the crew. His body was now partially transparent, existing in multiple dimensions at once. "Sir, I'm receiving ... messages from the Void. The Void Hunters left more than just technology. They left warnings." "What kind of warnings?" "About something called the Devourers, beings that consume entire realities. The Void Hunters fought them long ago. They won, but at a great cost. They had to transcend physical existence to survive." Alex felt the weight of this revelation. Humanity was not just fighting for Earth. They were fighting for the survival of reality itself. The Zephyrian fleet assembled in the outer reaches of their empire. It was the largest military force ever gathered in galactic history. Millions of ships, from small fighters to massive dreadnoughts, capable of destroying stars. Emperor Caldex stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Worldbreaker. The ship was the size of a small moon, armed with weapons that could crack planets. "All fleet commanders, report status," he ordered. "First battle group ready, my Emperor. Second battle group ready. Third battle group ready." The reports continued for hours. Every ship in the Zephyrian Empire had been called to this fight. They would not just defeat the humans, they would erase them from existence. "Set course for the Sol System," Caldex commanded. "We end this threat once and for all." On Earth, the final preparations were complete. The planet looked empty and defenseless, but underneath, billions of people waited in safety. The regular Earth fleet, rebuilt and reinforced, took positions around the planet. Admiral Carter looked at the tactical display. "Jake, are you ready for this?" Captain Sullivan nodded. "As ready as we can be. The Dark Fleet will do the real fighting. We just need to stay alive long enough to support them." Dr. Rodriguez was in her laboratory, monitoring the Dark Fleet crews. They were changing so fast now that she could barely recognize them as human. But something else was happening. They were becoming stronger, more connected to forces beyond normal understanding. "Elena," came Alex's voice through the communication system, "the enemy fleet has entered our solar system. They're bigger than anything we imagined. How many ships?" "Millions. Led by Emperor Caldex himself." "But Elena, there's something else. I can sense other powers stirring. Ancient things that have been sleeping for eons. Our battle with the Zephyrians is waking them up." Elena felt a chill of fear. What kind of things? Things that make the Zephyrian Empire look like children with toys. The real war is just beginning. The Zephyrian fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. Millions of ships filled the void, their weapons charging for the final battle. Earth looked small and helpless before such massive force. But in the asteroid belt, 30 black ships waited. Ships crewed by beings that were no longer fully human, but still carried humanity's courage and determination. The Dark Fleet was ready for the fight of their lives. The battle for the future of reality was about to begin. The final battle began with a display of power that lit up the entire solar system. Emperor Calvex's fleet of millions of ships attacked with everything they had. Energy beams that could destroy planets lanced through space toward Earth. But the Dark Fleet was ready. Commander Alex Thompson, now more void entity than human, led his 30 ships in a dance of impossible movements. They phased through the alien weapons, appearing and disappearing across the battlefield. "All ships target their command vessels," Alex ordered. His voice carried across dimensions, reaching his crews even in the void between realities. "Captain." Sam Lee's ship, the U-East Revenant, materialized inside the Emperor's flagship. The massive ship was like a floating city, filled with thousands of alien soldiers. Sam's weapons fired, but instead of destroying the ship, they began to transform it. "What is happening?" Emperor Caldex demanded. His bridge crew was in panic. as their ship began to phase in and out of normal space. "The humans are using Void Hunter technology," reported his science officer. "They're not just attacking us. They're changing the nature of reality around us." On Earth, Dr. Elena Rodriguez watched the battle through advanced sensors. The Dark Fleet was winning, but something was wrong. Space itself was beginning to crack. "President Webb," she called urgently, "the battle is damaging the fabric of reality. If this continues, we might tear open holes that can never be closed." President Webb looked at the displays showing the massive battle. "What does that mean?" "It means we could destroy not just the aliens, but everything. The entire solar system, maybe more." But the warning came too late. The use of so much Void Hunter technology at once had awakened something that had been sleeping for millions of years. From the deep void between galaxies came a presence that made both humans and aliens freeze in terror. The Devourers had arrived. Lieutenant Ben Parker, now existing in multiple dimensions, was the first to see them. "Commander Thompson, we have a problem. Something else is here, something that makes the Zephyrians look like insects." Through the tears in space came beings of pure darkness. They were not ships or creatures in any normal sense. They were holes. In reality itself, voids that consumed everything they touched. "The Devourers," Alex whispered. "The real enemy the Void Hunters fought. Our battle woke them up." Emperor Calvex watched in horror as one of the Devourers consumed an entire battle group of his ships. Not destroyed them, but erased them from existence completely. "All ships retreat," he ordered. "We cannot fight this." But retreat was impossible. The Devourers moved faster than thought, consuming Zephyrian and human ships alike. In minutes, half the alien fleet was gone, simply wiped from reality. Dr. Rodriguez was receiving data from the Dark Fleet. "The Devourers are attracted to the use of Void Hunter technology. Every time we use it, they grow stronger. Then we stop using it," said Admiral Carter. "We can't." Alex's voice came through the communication system. "We've gone too far. Technology is part of us now. We can't turn it off." The battle had become a three-way fight. The Zephyrians were trying to escape, the humans were trying to protect Earth, and the Devourers were trying to consume everything. Captain Jake Sullivan watched from the USS Defiance as reality itself began to break down. "All conventional ships, pull back to Earth. We can't fight these things." But Alex had a different plan. "All Dark Fleet ships, form up on me. We're going to do something that's never been done before." "What's that?" asked Captain Lee. "We're going to become like the Void Hunters. We're going to transcend physical existence and fight the Devourers on their own level." The 30 ships of the Dark Fleet moved together, their crews no longer human, but still carrying human values. They began to phase out of normal reality completely, becoming beings of pure energy and will. Emperor Calvex watched in amazement as the human ships transformed into something beyond physical form. "They're becoming like their ancient masters." "But how is this possible?" "Because they're human," came an unexpected voice. It was War Commander Zix-9, thought dead in the first battle. He had survived and was now on the Emperor's ship. "Humans don't just use technology. They become one with it. They adapt to anything." The transformed Dark Fleet engaged the Devourers in a battle that took place across multiple dimensions. They fought not with weapons, but with pure will and determination. The human crews, still connected to their original selves, refused to. Let the Devourers consume their reality. Alex found himself face to face with the largest Devourer. It was a void in the shape of hunger, a thing that existed only to consume. "You cannot stop us," the Devourer communicated without words. "We have consumed countless realities. Yours will be no different." "You're wrong," Alex replied. "You've never faced humans before. We don't just fight to win. We fight to protect what we love. The battle raged across dimensions. The Dark Fleet, now beings of pure energy, fought with everything they had. But they were still outnumbered, still facing an enemy that had consumed galaxies. That was when the Void Hunters returned. From the deepest parts of space came beings of light and shadow. The original Void Hunters, who had transcended physical existence millions of years ago, emerged to join the battle. They had been waiting, watching, hoping that someday another species would be worthy to stand beside them. "Young ones," spoke the voice of an ancient Void Hunter, "you have done well. But the fight is not over. The Void Hunters and the transformed humans fought together against the Devourers. It was a battle beyond anything that had ever happened before. Reality itself was the battlefield, and the future of all existence hung in the balance." Dr. Rodriguez watched from Earth as space around, then twisted and changed. "I'm reading impossible energy levels. The battle is affecting the entire galaxy." Emperor Calvex made a decision that surprised everyone. All remaining ships assist the humans. If the Devourers win, we all die. The Zephyrian fleet, what was left of it, turned their weapons on the Devourers. Their technology could not hurt the Void beings directly, but it could disrupt their feeding process. The battle continued for hours. Slowly working together, the combined forces began to push back the Devourers. The ancient Void Hunters showed the transformed humans how to seal the tiers in reality, closing the pathways the Devourers used to enter normal space. Finally, the last Devourer was forced back into the deep void. The tiers in space were sealed. The immediate threat was over, but the cost had been enormous. Most of the Zephyrian fleet was gone. Half of Earth's conventional ships were destroyed, and the Dark Fleet had been changed forever. Alex materialized on the bridge of the UEC's Nemesis. But he was no longer the same person who had left Earth. He was something new, a being that existed in both normal space and the void between realities. "Dr. Rodriguez," he said through the communication system, "the battle is over, but we can never come home." "Why not?" Elena asked, though she already knew the answer. "We exist partially outside normal reality now. If we return to Earth, we might damage it just by being there. We are guardians now, protectors of the barriers between dimensions." President Webb spoke up. "What about the Zephyrian Empire?" Emperor Calvex's image appeared on the screen. The ancient ruler looked tired and older than ever. "The Empire has learned a valuable lesson today. Humans are not primitives to be conquered. They are partners to be respected." "You're offering peace?" asked Admiral Carter. "More than peace," Calvex replied. "An alliance. The galaxy is full of threats we never imagined. We need defenders who can exist between realities. We need the Dark Fleet." And so a new age began. The Zephyrian Empire and Earth signed a treaty of friendship and mutual defense. The Dark Fleet became the guardians of galactic peace, protecting countless worlds from threats that existed beyond normal space. Dr. Rodriguez established the Academy of Void Sciences, where volunteers from many species learned to use Void Hunter technology responsibly. The Academy's first rule was simple: never use the technology for conquest, only for protection. Captain Jake Sullivan was promoted to Admiral and put in charge of the new combined human-alien fleet. Regular ships that could work alongside the transformed guardians of the Dark Fleet. Lieutenant Kate Morrison became the first human ambassador to the Galactic Council, representing Earth's interests among the stars. Years passed. Earth became a center of learning and cooperation. The underground cities were expanded into vast research centers. Children grew up knowing that their world was protected by guardians who had sacrificed their humanity to save everyone else. Alex Thompson, now calling himself the Void Commander, led the Dark Fleet on patrol missions across the galaxy. His ships appeared wherever there was danger, wherever the barriers between realities were threatened. One day, he received a message from Earth. It was from Dr. Rodriguez, now an old woman, but still working on new discoveries. Alex, we've found something. Another derelict ship, but this one is different. It's not from the Void Hunters, or any species we know. We think there are other guardians out there, other protectors we haven't met yet. Alex smiled, or did what passed for smiling, in his transformed state. Then we'll find them. The galaxy is vast, and there's always more to discover. On Earth, a new ship was being built. The U.E.'s Hope, crewed by unchanged humans who would explore the galaxy while their transformed brothers and sisters guarded it.